Hi everyone. I'm back again. Hopefully this works this time. I was just on earlier on with my friend Dr. Tanielle Brew Smith, and we were just about starting about cultivating joy. So we're gonna give this another try. You all know how technology is, so we'll get started, and I'll have her come on, and hopefully this works this time around. And you know how it is. Even if it seems like it doesn't, we choose joy. So that's just really part of what we're going to talk about this evening. And I look forward to just, having Dr. Brew just share her wealth of experience with all of you. And so hopefully she should be coming on soon. I'm seeing her request and sending another one, and we should have her joining us. Um, yeah. Hi, how are you again? Oh, my fingers crossed. I hope this works this time. I'm not sure what's going on.
Who knows? The internet. I blame everything on COVID.
Exactly. I love it. And you know what I said? I'm like, even if it doesn't, listen, we're gonna choose joy. We're gonna make this work. And yeah, and so maybe I'll have you just like tell us a little bit more about yourself. We were talking up, you were just introducing yourself, and then things just kind of got choppy.
Yeah. So I'll just introduce myself again real quickly. Again, my name is Tanielle Brew Smith. I'm a family medicine and obesity medicine doctor, and I'm also the founder and CEO of Brew Wellness Collective. I help high achieving professionals create sustainable life balance by cultivating joy and other practices to just increase some of those positive emotions in their life and create different routines and self care practices.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. I think we're still breaking up, but I heard pretty much everything you said. Um, the question I wanted to ask you too was what brought about this transition for you, because you are successful family medicine and obesity medicine physician, and I see the work you're doing now with helping people understand when they need to pivot, understand how to sort of embrace their best selves, and really what brought you down that path?
So there were several events that happened in my life that made me see that it was time to pivot. One, like many other doctors in healthcare, I was burnt to a crisp, like crispy fried chicken burnt. Okay, and,
I've never heard of that
and
one. I love it. I'm gonna steal it.
yes, like completely burned out, to the point where as soon as I would get in the car to go to work, I was having this chest pain and heart palpitations. And I knew it wasn't like I had a heart issue because I stress tested myself by like literally going to the gym after work and running just to see what would happen. And everything will go away. I feel perfectly fine. And I'm generally like how I'm right now, this joyful person. It Those months before me changing, I was sad, I was exhausted, I was very irritable. The smallest things would just make me either want to cry or have a very bad attitude and probably snap a little bit. And that just wasn't me. I did not like the person that I was becoming. And I knew that that person I was becoming was not me. It was me under stress, and I knew I had choices. And honestly, I didn't know what those choices were, but I knew there had to be something different because I was not going to continue down that road. I also am in the process of I just got married like a little over a year ago. We're going to expand our family. And I just didn't want to show up like that when I came home. I didn't want to show up like that when we had our future children. So for me, it was like, okay, I know I want to make these major changes in the future. Let me get myself together now. Let me do the scary things now,
Mm.
to create that joy and create those routines and create ways of cultivating that joy within my life now.
Wow, wow. And that's really so hard to believe, because when I look at your posts, and we're in a community together that we share, you always just exude so much joy and radiance. And so I'm so glad you made that pivot, because I can't even
I can't even imagine you like charred and burnt crisp. So I'm so thankful you made that decision, because I think that's just really so empowering, you know.
Yes,
One
yes.
thing
It
I
was
want to,
definitely very
yeah,
hard, but it was needed.
yeah. Yeah. So now, and the community you serve, similar to mine, the community of women I work with, which is super high achieving, goal getters. Really, we do the hard stuff. Hustle is like the name of the game. We could do hard things. Like, how do you know when it's time to say, you know what? This is beyond just like resilience and hanging in there to like, listen, I need to make a shift. How do you make that differentiation, and then how do you know when it's time to really make that shift, whatever that looks like, whether it's in your career, whether it's in a hostile relationship, whether it's in whether it's at work, whatever it is, how do you know when to make that shift?
So I could not hear your question because it was going in and out. Do you mind repeating it for me? Or I can create a
Oh yeah.
question that's similar, that I think is
No,
similar to
no.
what you
Oh
asked.
my gosh. Oh man. Okay, so I'm more than happy to ask, and you could create too. So I'm just saying, like, a lot of the women we work with, right? The people we work with are high achieving. They're goal
Yes.
getters. How do they know? How do we know when it's time to sort of pivot versus build resilience, hang in there, keep doing it? Like, when do you know, like, this is beyond just like a resilience or kind of matter, this is more like, this is not healthy for me? How do you know when to make that transition? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Hmm. Some reason For some reason I'm not hearing you. Maybe what we'll do is, there we go, now I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So I tell the first step I was saying is to really get reconnected back into your feelings in your body. Because for
Hmm.
high achieving people like us, we are go, 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 next, 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 next. And we will
Hmm.
totally stop feeling. We will feel later. We'll feel when we die. No.
Yes.
So step one, get connected to your feeling. And then you also need to have people around you who help you to know what, or to help you to remember what your values are and what your purpose is of what you're doing.
Hmm.
Because I definitely, with Entre MD, we're definitely working together, but I have my own private coach as well. And she helps me because I will literally keep adding stuff to my list. And she will sometimes tell me, oh, how do you feel with that? how how are you going to show up in that space? Do you feel like you're going to be rushed? Like, it's an understanding what stress feels like and not
Hmm.
going, making sure you're creating space for yourself so you're not moving towards that stressful space. Everything doesn't have to be done by me or by that other person. We can bring in help. So another practice that I help people with is first creating your support team. Who are those people, who are those entities that are going to help you in whatever journey you're on, whether that's helping you at
Hmm.
home, helping you with your work stuff? Already have your team built, because your team can also help you to know when you are going 1,000 miles an hour and need to press the brakes. So step number one, connecting to your feelings and what's going on in your body. Number two, having someone, an outside person who can also listen to what's going on and help you to decipher, oh, go here, maybe slow down here, add in support, and then creating the support team around you. And they can also be another level to help you know that, okay, you know what, maybe I'm doing 1,000 things and I need to bring that down to 100.
Hmm. I think that is so profound. So I'm hearing, really getting back to identifying how you're feeling, because sometimes we ignore, our bodies are sending those signals, our emotions, as we're just like, listen, I could do it. I feel like we buckle up. We talk about, in a lot of the spaces we're in, we talk about, oh, you ride with fear. Like, fear is not something that will go away. But sometimes we put fear in the back seat and we put all our emotions, our feelings We're just like, I'm just gonna keep going. So I love the fact that you bring this point of really being attentive to your body, to what your body and your emotions are telling you, because there will be signals. Like, I don't think burnout just kind of shows up one day. It's very gradual. And
Yeah.
even sometimes, like, one of the things I tell women is, like, sometimes the things we do that is like meant to be our purpose, like we've been put on this earth to do, can burn us out if we don't pay if we don't pay attention, so I definitely love that idea. I love the fact that you talked about having a support system, people that can look from the outside in, but people that are going to be able to cheer you along, but really help you strike that balance. Like, okay, listen, I know you could do 100 things at once, but how about we start with three? So I
Yeah.
think I think that's
Master, not multitasking, but like monotasking. Can we do this one task, complete the one task, then
yeah.
move to the next task? That is a really hard
Mm.
skill.
Yeah, but it's learnable. I think
Yes,
it's hard, but it's and then, and also, even for moms, I feel like you're like doing the home run stuff, you're doing school stuff, then you're doing work, like, but I think it's actually possible to do. But I feel like sometimes it may come with a discomfort, like, am I losing time? Am I
yes.
losing momentum? So tell us, how do you strike that balance with being comfortable with, look, listen, it seems like you may be going at a pace that you would rather be moving faster at, but at the long run, you end up getting more done, or not more done, but you end up being more fulfilled at the end of the day, even if it seems like you've not gotten all of the things done. How are you comfortable, or how do you become comfortable with that, just that mindset?
Well, one, I build in certain checkpoints into what I'm doing. So
Mm,
anytime I say I'm going to do something, I try to say I'm going to do it by a month from now or whatever. So that helps me to know whether I've achieved whatever goal I'm going towards. And then also, I have learned, and weight loss actually helped me with this, going through the whole weight loss process and helping people with their weight loss journey, is to know that, yes, I have an end goal, and most people have an end goal for certain things, but really the power is in the journey. Because
mm,
sometimes when you're on your journey to figure out whatever it is you're trying to get to, that's when all the magic happens. That's when a pivot can happen. That's when you learn about yourself. That's when you get the clients, when you
mm,
learn all the skills. So one thing that was helpful for me, instead of being like, well, I know I want to start this business or have this certain income by whatever. I just got real, like, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy this journey. Yes, I have this end goal. Definitely
mm,
going to do my best to achieve it. If I don't achieve it, I'm going to learn from it. But I'm also not just going to bypass what I'm going through to get there.
mm,
Because actually, what I'm going through to get there is the process. That is what's most important. It's
mm,
not the end goal, it's what I'm
mm,
going through to get to that point. So
mm,
for me, it was just having moments of being very present in my experience, of cultivating gratitude, of making sure I had de-stressing practices in there, so that I'm not always, because a lot of times we're going, going, going because we're actually very stressed out. We're in
mm,
more of that fight or flight stress out state. So
mm,
when I make sure that I already have some de-stressing practices already in my day, scheduled in my day, that helps me so that I'm not in this revved up, I got to finish 1,000 things mode, because I'm already de-stressed.
mm. You know, there's so many of this, and that was really why I wanted to chat with you, because one of the things I see that women have, that contributes to their difficulty sleeping, is that, like, constant, we're going all day, and then we get into bed and we're still going. We, like, we're running that marathon, and so the mind is not shutting down, because that to-do list keeps, like, piling up stuff at the end, at the where we're looking behind at the things we didn't get done during the day. We're looking forward at the long, endless, items we have on our list to do the following day, and we're just not in the moment. We're not in the moment, even when we're in bed, and so we can't sleep. And that's what I hear. Like, I get into bed, I'm exhausted, and my mind just switches on. And one of the things that you mentioned, which I love, is that cultivating gratitude, where it becomes sort of a part of you, and you have a schedule during the day. I've done a reel recently where I said it's like you, if you've been going and you've not had any break, then it's like finally your mind is like, "Ah, I have your attention." Here you go, here you go. But if you had built it in, like you said, you have this beautiful practice. So I would love for you to just share that with us, because I think that is so critical for us women who feel like we could do so much even in the time we've been given. And at the end of the day, it's leaving us so drained and exhausted.
Yes. So I'm talking about two things. One, the gratitude practice. So for me, I usually do my gratitude practice twice during the day. One, when I wake up in the morning, when I'm actually brushing my teeth, which is kind of a weird time to think about gratitude. But hey, I'm standing there brushing my teeth for a few minutes. So that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
So I used to actually have it written on my mirror,
Mm.
certain words that I want to embody during the day. So I would just think of things I'm grateful for while I'm brushing my teeth. Then also on my computer, as soon as I open my laptop, there's a sticky note. And on that sticky note, it's just a running list and I write down three things I'm grateful for on that sticky note. So I pair my gratitude practice with things I already do every day. And another thing you mentioned, that a lot of women have a lot of things going on in their mind. Same. I still sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and I want to just solve all the problems of the world. So one thing I have been doing is I've been trying to externalize the things that are internal, meaning that like my to-do list, I try to do a brain dump at the beginning of the week. So usually either Sunday or Monday, I will make a very long to-do list of all the things that I feel like I need to accomplish. And sometimes I get disability insurance on my to-do list for about 2 months now. Whatever, it's not in my head anymore. So I
Love
will
it.
make that to-do list. And today, of course, I don't have my notebook next to me. It's on the couch in my living room, but I keep my notebook near me or keep a keep note on my phone so that when those things pop up, like business ideas pop up, it goes on the list, on the like, these are my future businesses list. When there's something on the to-do list, instead of me trying to hold on to it, oh, I got to remember this, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I won't. So I'm going to put it on my to-do list. Or if it's something that can already be put on the calendar, I'm going to put it on the calendar. Or if it's something I need to tell my husband, it's going to go in the messenger app and he's going to go ahead and get that message. So whatever kind of pops up, I try to put it where it's supposed to be so I don't have to hold on to that, because that can be exhausting trying to remember, oh gosh, what is that date? What is that time? So
Yeah,
no, it's just
yeah,
not going to happen. I'm not even
I
going to try
know.
to do it anymore.
I know, and it is such a it's such a trap, because you're right. Your brain then tries to hold on to it, because it's like, don't forget, this is so important, and we're
Mm-hmm.
already in that fight or flight mode. So it's like becomes even the most ridiculous things, like what will I pack for lunch, becomes this like crisis in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of the night. So how about we put it down on paper and let the the journal or the paper pad take the responsibility in that sense. I think this is really brilliant, and it's really so important, and it's so simple. It takes, for me, I do that like every night. Like I have my gratitude practice at night before I go to bed. And I also write the things that, I kind of go through in gratitude, the things I was able to accomplish. I
Mm-hmm.
completely let go of the things I wasn't able to accomplish, which is okay. I come to terms with it and I embrace it. Even if it was a day where I didn't get much done, I listen, I'm gonna consciously let it go, and I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
take the guilt with me in bed. And then it becomes like that, like what are the extra things that seem like cobwebs that may then end up bothering. So I think that is such an important practice. And also I love the gratitude piece. Again, I cannot overemphasize it, because sometimes, especially again as overachievers, we may feel like we haven't done much. But when you intentionally find things you're grateful for, and not like lazy, somebody termed it lazy gratitude. I mean, it's not lazy, we're thankful for everything, but you're like, oh, I'm thankful for my house, I'm thankful for my bed. Like, think intentionally about something that happened. I mean, of course, be thankful for your bed, your warm cozy bed, and your house, whatever, but try to identify like one or two things that really either happened that day or something that's really impacting your life. I think that's just an incredible practice that we all just need to adopt as a lifestyle. I love it. One last thing I wanted to ask you was this. this phenomenon of cultivating joy, what does that mean? Again, that joy, I see it in your face, I see it in your posts, even your like still posts, even the posts that are not pictures. It's just beautiful. So what is it to you? What does that mean to you? And how do you cultivate it? Because I know that's going to help my women sleep as well. So
So for me, cultivating joy is a daily practice. Part of that is one, understanding what it is that you want. The first part of me cultivating joy, I actually did this when I was still working full time. I was constantly asking myself, what do I want? What do I need? What do I want? What do I need? What do I want? What do I need? All the time. Because that
mm,
brought a lot of clarity to me. Because a lot of times people are feeling depressed or anxious and all that
mm,
stuff because they are doing things that they just don't want to do or doing things that they should be doing.
mm,
So, step one for cultivating joy is understanding the things that you actually want to do, not that you should be doing. So, the more time you spend doing the things you actually want to do, that helps. Number two is I intentionally schedule things that make me happy into my day. So immediately after this live, I'm going to put on my workout clothes and I'm going to Zumba class because it's Twerk Tuesday. Okay.
love it. Love
So
it.
I intentionally make sure because the life stress, I think of myself as a joyful person, but life stress still happens. So what I do to try to tip that balance more in my favor is I already have things that I love scheduled into my day every day. And even if it's something simple, like for me, caring for myself is like a loving, joyful act. Me making sure I have my water bottle right next to me so I'm staying hydrated. Making sure that I have my clothes set out because I have easy clothes that I get to wear. I made the wardrobe stuff super easy. Um, Making sure that my car is clean and the space around me is good. Walking my dog makes me so happy just seeing him smile. Like having things like that in my day, very much impacting my ability to cultivate joy. But then also assessing what is draining your energy and coming up with a plan for that. So for me, cleaning, actually the physical cleaning of my house, the thought of having to do that, no, don't want to do it. So that's when that support team,
Mhm.
perfect. I have someone who comes in to clean. Yes. So I took some time to really look at, okay, after a certain interaction or after a certain activity, how do I feel? Let me make sure I add in the ones that make me feel good. And if it's something that I really just, it drains me after, or the conversation drained me after, or something like that, then I need to manage that activity in a different way. I need to show up different. I need to either not do that activity. I need to come up with some kind of strategy around that because it is taking something away from me or I am allowing something to happen that I don't want. So that is what I do to cultivate joy in my life.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I think that's just a practice we have to incorporate every day. What do I need versus what do I want? And
Mhm.
make this a priority because it gives you a whole different perspective. This has been so, so good. I've taken down so many notes just around, the place of identifying when you do need to make a shift, identifying when if your environment is toxic, if you do need to know, recognize those signs that you might be getting burnt out, and it's okay to move, it's okay to pivot. Um, Making sure that you have the right community, making sure that you're in tune with your body, cultivating gratitude, making joy just a lifestyle, pretty much. This is what it sounds like. And I think this is so important, especially as we get into a season, which is, again, wonderful time of the year. There's so much joy, but it's a very draining time for many women.
Yes.
If you're employed, you're probably working extra because the year end, just to meet some year end goals. So at the end of the day, it kind of sucks that joy out, right? If you're looking for external things to bring the joy, you may get disappointed. So if you yourself imbibe that, you yourself draw joy from inside by being clear on the things you want, being clear on the things you need, fitting around you and within your day, things, joyful practices, joyful experiences, I think it makes a whole world of difference, and it will help you. It will help you sleep better at night, knowing that you did the best you could and you're willing to let go of what didn't happen. So that's incredible. Do you have any other like final words for us? And also just like where we can find you if someone's heard this and it's like, listen, we need to get together. How does that work?
Yeah, so a couple final words. Number one, if anyone wanted to do anything just to start on their journey, I tell them create a joy list. A joy list is, I say 10 things, but you can make it as long as you want. 10 either activities or something you look at that just make you happy. So on my joy list, one of it is a gospel song called Encourage Yourself. I know I can go to that song and it's going to lift my spirit. I can go for a walk, go dancing. It doesn't have to be this whole elaborate thing. Oh, I need to go to a retreat in the Maldives. No, it needs to be something that you can easily do in your home or just something you can easily have access to. And then cultivate that list on a happy day. Don't do it when you're sad, because when you're sad, you're in that sympathetic, you can't think of anything. So on just a good, normal day, just start writing down just things that you like to do, things that bring you joy, and create that joy list. And then start incorporating those activities or those things or reminders. I also think that you can have physical things around you that are reminders. So you can't see it behind me, but I have a picture from my wedding day behind me. And usually when I'm doing a podcast or something, I can see it. So that physical reminder of one of the happiest days of my life, it just really helps me. Even whatever's going on, I can look back at that and be like, oh, I love that. I was so happy that day. Everyone was so happy. So having those physical reminders of whatever emotion you want to have is important too. But if you want to connect with me, you can go to my website that just came out, www.brewwellnesscollective.com. So if you want to schedule a discovery call, you can do it through there. I recently started a podcast, podcast/YouTube channel, like literally less than a week ago, called Prioritize the Pause. So my one episode, you can.
That's awesome. Let's celebrate that. Yay.
Yeah, you can see that there, but www.brewwellnesscollective.com. And it's Brew Wellness Collective on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and then the website, of course, is Brew Wellness Collective.
I love it. And the YouTube video, the YouTube channel is Prioritize the Pause.
Yeah, but it's still under, if you type in Brew Wellness Collective, it's on that main page, and then the playlist is Prioritize the Pause. Eventually, I'll make a whole podcast out of it, but you know what? It's going to be another day, not today.
Yes, exactly. Today, we're going to Twerk Tuesday. So listen, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for, spending time with us. I've learned so much about things that seem so simple that we tend to overlook. And I love the fact that we don't have to go to the Maldives to find joy.
Joy is right here.
Right here. We define it. And I just really love it. So for everyone whether you're watching this on the replay, I hope this has blessed you as much as it has blessed me. And definitely we'll put all the links in the chat so you could definitely get on that discovery call and find out all that is the awesomeness of Dr. Tanielle Brew. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, everyone.